boom, bam, bam, hiya, punch, kick. That's right, these are fighting games. We're talking about Oops versus Malik. All these famous characters like Dagon versus Fade for an infinite amount of time. That's right, PlayStation 2 Barbarian by Titus. Everyone remembers Titus for being probably one of the best game makers ever made. And they made some of the best games. Starting off the top 10 number list, they did the top 10 fighting game. Ooh, punch, kick, pow, bang, fight. Starring Jason G versus the Police, and Lola versus Gregorio, and Gina versus Kriegler, and you can fight other people. It's a fighting game because that's what this is. Raven and Quincy, we all remember those people, and you can get new looks, and you can probably customize your own character. There's characters like Aaron, once again Raven and Quincy, and you can probably play b-ball and stuff like this. There's basketball courts. You select your characters. You can get B-knuckles for your items and do face kicks and different things like this. And once again, it's a cool fighting game. It's probably called like Streets of Rage or like Beatdown Fist of Vengeance for the Capcom PlayStation 2. And Boom Bang Pow fighting games for Guado versus Uranus and Zion versus Guado. See more Guados in this fighting game. It's called Bloody Roar 4. And there's a bunch of mech. There's like a beetle mech, a lion man, Yu-Gi-Oh's in this game, Lion Man Zion, Lion Zion Man, Iron Man. This is a fighting game, kicking and fighting and punching game. Boom, bang, pow, bang, Supreme Warrior. No, I'm not talking about Supreme Pizzas. We're talking about Supreme Warriors, real life. Look at the real life realistic graphics because they're just photograph graphics. Hiya, karate chop, hiya. This is a fighting game called this game where you fight as Xenolan versus Talmog and different aliens versus different robot aliens and different cyborgs and cyborg snakes like Naja versus Demon, Daemon, and it's like an alien fighting game. It's like whatever that one was called. This next one is called. It's another fighting game where you play as Bullseye versus Bullseye sometimes, Cyclone, Cyclone versus, it's called Biofreaks. And it is one of the top, one of the winners if you could play as like, whatever their names are. But you could play as all those bio-mutant freaks and it's a fighting game. These are all fighting games if you could not tell already. This is a fighting game you might remember advanced because there's some of the best top 10 potted plants in video games. Remember that. But also, it actually is one of the top 10 fighting games too, and it has cool cutscenes like anime cutscenes and cool characters like they're like kung fu fighting girls, and they do different hiya karate moves. These are fighting games, and this one is called Rakugaku Kids from playing in front of school buses. Watch out! It's very dangerous. There it is, Rakugakuga Kids for the Nintendo 64. You win when you play this game because it does have cool graphics, cartoon crayon style graphics, and of course, if you're not making a Street Fighter list, if you're making a top 10 fighting games list, and you're not putting at least one of the Street Fighter 2s in the top 10 list, then what are you doing? Because Street Fighter 2 is one of the best fighting games ever made, and it's one of the best because they even knew that back then because there's like 70 different versions of Street Fighter 2 and they're all the best. What's even better than Street Fighter 2, you ask? Why don't you ask characters like Kimura, Lun, and Ian in Fight for Life for the Nintendo Jaguar 64-bit cartridge? Kara versus Lun. Once again, look at all these crazy cool characters in Fight for Life. There's Pog. There's a white ninja man versus that lady, and then there's like a big boxer man and a man in blue jeans. That was the best #1 fighting game in all of video games, and it was. Thank you for joining me for the top 10 fighting games in video games. Thank you.